In April 2011, urban transport experts, practitioners and policymakers from all over the world gathered in London for the final conference of the Niches Plus project. As the innovative research project drew to a close, the event became a gathering of minds, of ideas and of solutions, a day when we could learn from niche concepts tried and tested in the project's 6 champion cities in Europe, and share knowledge gathered from the many solutions being demonstrated in London.
Niches Plus is a European-funded initiative which aims at supporting the deployment of innovative solutions for more sustainable local transport, to take them outside a niche market and to bring them to the broad market.
We've called this project Niches because it's looking for the little niche solution which is capable of having, rather like the snowball that starts the avalanche, we're looking for something that can create a much bigger impact.
With a small amount of money that we have put in this money, it's a few €100,000, which is not a lot, we can network a lot of cities around Europe.
So we need to do something to accelerate the rate of innovation because our transport system is today on an unsustainable path.
Innovation is about impact because you leverage the ideas in reality. But what's interesting about the world at the moment, and what this project has been looking at in many ways, is that we're working on a new form of innovation at the moment, which people call open innovation or collaborative innovation, which is the impactful leverage of ideas, but you do it together. And here's the bit that people don't often want to spend time talking about. You share the risks and the rewards.
These kind of EU projects like Niches are very important for the new EU member states and the cities in the new EU member states. Since the 60s in Budapest there was a lack of coordination and there was a lack of integrated transport policy in the city. And now we want to change this. We have many projects funded by the EU, mainly from the cohesion funds.
Today we have the final conference of the project in London, which is, I think, a perfect place to do it, because as we will see later on, London has been doing a tremendous effort to become more sustainable, to implement those niche products. And as I found out, it's been a city that results are showing.
A lot of the changes in London have not been through choice, but they've been through a grassroots movement around people wanting to get around.
iBus is the fleet dispatching and monitoring system used by Transport for London to manage all their buses. Not only does it help the bus drivers in their daily work, the information is also used to inform the traveller. Visual displays and audio announcements on the bus keep passengers informed every stop of the way, so they know where and when to get off. It makes travel easier for everyone, especially visually or hearing impaired passengers, infrequent travellers, passengers facing language barriers, people travelling in an unfamiliar area.
Something other which was very important and was very interesting for me was the King's Cross site and the development around the 2 railway stations on that site. We are about to use EU cohesion funds to refurbish the biggest railway station of Budapest.
King's Cross Station will be transformed into a world-class transport hub which can meet future demand and offer the best facilities for passengers. Over £400 million will be invested in the station, funded by the Department for Transport and Network Rail in the UK. The station will be extended through a new Western Concourse, which will give better access to the Underground and St Pancras International Station.
Today I went to visit a very interesting thing, which is a new information system, which is in the street and around the station of London.
So all of the temple signage will all be in this format as well. So it's quite noisy. So this is one of the Legible London family.
Legible London's clear and intuitive mapping is bringing a new way of walking to the capital. The maps and signs help people find their way by detailing the landmarks they'll pass on their journey and estimate the time it will take to reach their destination. The map features heads-up mapping, time to walk, 3D buildings, and 2 different maps.
And what is interesting in the Transport for London approach is that they are also connected the different transport systems. So you can walk, but you can also cycle.
I'm part of the 2% of the population which hops on a bicycle. There have been a lot of improvements in cycling, and we've gone from 1% to 2% of all journeys being done by bicycle. And obviously our target is 4%.
So this is our cycle hire docking station.
Barclays bikes are available 24 hours a day, all year round. It's self-service and there's no booking. Just turn up and go. Commuters can take a cycle, ride it where they like, then return it, ready for the next person.
Now we spend much more money for cycling than we did it before, and also we had an offensive for public transport, but this will more tramways now, and because with the metro system we are nearly finished, and it's too expensive to expand the metro system, but we want to continue with tramways, so they are more effective as a measure.
A large number of countries are facing several budget cuts. We need to address this. So this has to be taken into account, the assessment of a potential of a new solution, but it has to be taken into account in a smart way.
We've got a lot of people working on the Niches project, looking at examples, they're innovating, but they're telling everybody else what they did, not just telling people what they did well. They're being very, very helpful, very friendly, very honest. They're telling us what didn't work.
And we are trying to cooperate with Western European cities, Eastern European cities, Northern European cities, and we're trying to see the good examples and use them in an appropriate way.
We are in a sector which badly needs more exchanges between partners and communication.
Essas três categorias de problemas podem ser minimizados se o volume de pessoas maior for transportado no transporte público e um transporte público adequado. Você aumenta a mobilidade, diminui os danos ambientais e aumenta a segurança das pessoas.
My message to cities is if you do what you always did, you get what you always got. Don't be afraid to experiment. Measure the experiment properly. If it works, tell all your friends about it, shout about it and adopt it. And if it doesn't work, find out why and ditch it and then try something else.
So every cities can learn from the mistakes from others, and good ideas can spread all over Europe.
70% of the population in Europe live in urban areas, and this will grow in the coming years. And it's not only a European problem, but a worldwide problem.
Innovation comes out of cooperation of minds. We've seen that today. It's about bringing together several talents to identify new potential, and there is no better way to pass on the words than to have people meeting. The networking is fundamental, which is why we need these events.